Hey YouTube world, I'm Dalila and we are back with the DVD purging series. This is part 9, um, where I am, you know, doing a DVD purge. So I'm gonna go through some more movies and see which ones I'm keeping and which ones I'm giving away. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this one is Scary Movie 2, The Wayans Brothers. Um, and, you know, I would say the first two scary movies, which, is when the Wayans Brothers was still involved in the writing and producing, um, are the best scary movies. A lot of people say that Scary Movie 2 is funnier than the first one, but I actually really enjoyed the first one. Um, but I appreciate the second one. Like, the more times that I watch the second one, the more I'm like, okay, this one's funny, but still, the first one, that's still my favorite. Um, I have part 3, and I can't remember if I decided to keep part 3 or give it away. I don't even remember. um, but I feel like these, especially Scary Movie 1 and 2, I mean, I think I'm going to keep them in my collection. Um, I've done so many of these videos, I can't really remember if I decided to keep part 1 or not. Uh, but if if I did say I was going to give it away, I think I'm going to change my mind and keep it. Um, because yeah, I do want to hold on to these, at least the first two. The third one I probably will give away, but yeah. I mean, come on. And I hear the Wayans brothers are trying to reboot Scary Movie, so we'll see if it's any good. But this is like peak early 2000s humor. um, so yeah, staying. All right, Freaky Friday. This is such a good remake. This is an example of a remake done well. Um, Early 2000s, Lindsay Lohan before, you know, before her career took a downturn. And I think they're coming out with a new one with, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. And they're going to be rebooting this. So that'll be interesting to see how that looks. But this one, this is one of those movies you can watch a million times and, it never gets old. I just think this was so good. I think, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, they had really good chemistry. And I like the fact that she's in the band, and it's a good modern take on Freaky Friday, because Freaky Friday, I think that originally came out before I was even born. I think that came out in the 70s or something. So that the original one really predates me. Um, but this is a good remake. Am I going to keep this? Um, hmm, I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. I just don't see me popping this in and say, "Ooh, I feel like watching Freaky Friday." Pop it in. But who knows? Who knows? I've held on to these DVDs for so many years, and I have never had the urge to watch any of these movies. But at the same time, um, some of these really are classics, and it's not like they're making any more. They're not producing any more DVDs. Um, so I don't know. This one I'm on the fence about. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one or not. Okay, so this is another concert movie. Justin Timberlake, Future Sex Love Sounds, live from Madison Square Garden. Um, he was this was Justin Timberlake at the very top of his game. I know he's taken a bit of a tumble, creatively, music wise, PR wise. uh, all of the whys. um, he's not, I don't think he'll ever be as popular as he was when he came out with this album. This album came out, again, early 2000s, I think 2004, 2005. But, this was such a good album. Future Sex Love Sounds was a good album produced by Timbaland. Say what you want about Justin. And it maybe all be true. But this was a really good album and show. But I don't think I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna go ahead and give this away. Okay, this is one of my favorite movies, Get Shorty. I've seen this so many times. This is John Travolta, Rene Russo, Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito. Such a good movie. One of my favorite parts in the movie is like I think this was towards the beginning. There's another actor in this movie. Oh gosh, what is his name? Hold on, let me look. Oh yeah, Dennis Farina. Okay, so towards the beginning of the movie, there's a scene. I guess Dennis Farina, he's like one of the mob guys, and he's trying to intimidate Chili Palmer, or John Travolta's character, and so like I think John Travolta like kind of shoots him, but when he shoots him, he like shoots off the front part of his hair. And so and Dennis Farina's character, he's like all running out of he's trying to act all hard, but then he ends up running out of the barber shop like, someone call 911, somebody call 911. Oh my gosh, that part was so funny. But the cast is really stacked. It's got James Gandolfini as well, and Delroy Lindo is in this movie as well. I think there's a few other actors. I can't think of their names right now, but this was really good. One of the, I'm not a big John Travolta fan. I know this is around the time he made his comeback. So this was after Pulp Fiction, and he was just getting a lot of work, a lot of really good movies, and this is one of them. It just has a nice flow. It's based on Elmore Leonard's books. And yeah. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one. I think this is an oldie but goodie. So I'm going to keep it. When Harry Met Sally. Classic romantic comedy. This is, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie. And I know throughout the years, as people have looked at it with new eyes, they don't necessarily like Harry. He's kind of an asshole in this movie when you really look at it. And, I just tend to watch these movies. I take them for what they are. They're movies, not real life. The message that these types of movies kind of send, that you can debate, definitely. But like I said, these movies, they're from the early 90s. They came out when I was a kid. They're like a nice warm blanket to watch. And, Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, they have really good chemistry in this movie. Now, looking at Billy Crystal and trying to, I guess when I watch this, I'm not exactly sold on Billy Crystal as hot. That sounds terrible for me to say, but Meg Ryan, she's like really pretty, she's cute, and all that. And then there's Billy Crystal. And He has, like, his one-liners, his zingers, his sense of humor, because he's a comedian at heart. He's got that. Um, but like I said, watching this movie as an adult, this character comes off as a jerk. In real life, I don't think they would have, ended up in a relationship or married or whatever. He would have got blocked or something for being a jerk. um, and, it's not like he's, super cute like that where you can overlook it. um, but it's still one of my favorite movies. It really is. And Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, they do have chemistry. Fun dialogue. Some of my favorite scenes is actually with Carrie Fisher, the friend, and how she's just always talking about, she's having an affair with this married dude, and she just doesn't believe he's gonna leave his wife. I don't think he's gonna leave her. um, I like Carrie Fisher's character in this movie the most. But, I can't get rid of this. I'm never going to get rid of this movie. I will have When Harry Met Sally forever. And yes, I will pop this in at some point when I'm, bored and, at home and eating a ton of snacks on a Friday night. And I will put this movie in, absolutely. So yes, I'm keeping it. Ooh, Crash. Okay. So, when this movie came out, I went to see it at the movie theater with friends. And, it's an ensemble cast. As you can see, there's a ton of actors in this movie: Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, so on and so forth. And when this movie came out, it was a big deal, Now, funny thing is, the director, Paul Haggis, he ended up becoming disgraced. But we've got, look, Brendan Fraser is in this movie, Ludacris. There are Ryan Phillippe. There is so many stars in this movie. And, I get what this movie is trying to say. But a lot of people hate this movie because it won over Brokeback Mountain. It was up for Best Picture against Brokeback Mountain. And I watched Brokeback Mountain as well. I don't have it on DVD, but I saw both of these movies in the theater. And I will have to say, Brokeback Mountain was very moving. The performances were excellent. There was no, what am I looking for? It wasn't one of those heavy-handed, message movies. It was just, there's so much that was unsaid that, what I mean is, I can understand why people hate Crash, because Brokeback Mountain was obviously the better movie. Crash is heavy-handed. Crash has a lot of issues. Now, do I hate this movie? No, I don't. Not as much as other people do. Do I think at the time it was an important movie? Yeah, you can. It was. And the fact that it takes place in Los Angeles, I think that's also meaningful. LA is always thought of as this, city of, I don't know, I guess everyone gets along so well here and is so liberal, and that's just not true. LA is a trip, divided and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just, the hate that this movie gets, I can understand why someone doesn't like it. I don't know why it gets the hate, and I really think it gets the most hate because it went up against Brokeback Mountain for Best Picture, and it won. And people just automatically feel like Brokeback Mountain didn't win because it involved homosexuality. But I will say that Brokeback Mountain was the better movie on everything, the writing, the acting, um, uh, the subject matter, all of it. Now, am I going to keep this movie? I'm not going to keep this movie. I'm going to go ahead and give it away. So, yeah. Bye, Crash. Okay, this is Domino. This is Keira Knightley. Wow, this was directed by Tony Scott. I think he rest in peace because he died. And then I forgot Mickey Rourke was in this movie. Edgar Ramirez. I'm gonna give this movie away. It was an alright movie. It's based on a true story, Domino Harvey. Who was actually, I think she was like a model turned, what was she? Crap. I don't remember. I think she was a bounty hunter or something. Anyway, this was alright. I kind of feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe Keira Knightley may have been miscast in this movie. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But watching this, it was okay. And knowing the story of the actual Domino and what ended up happening to her is kind of sad. Of course, that's not shown in this movie. This is a highly stylized version of a piece of her life. But yeah, this one I'm gonna go ahead and give away. Okay, The Forgotten. Oh my gosh, please tell me, what is this movie about? I didn't even know I had this DVD. I'm like, what in the I don't even remember this movie. I mean, I seriously do not remember this movie. What is this about? Nine-year-old Sam Purda is dead, killed in a plane crash, even though it's been 14. Yeah, I don't know if this was good or not. I literally legit don't remember this movie. I don't even remember watching it. I'm pretty sure I watched it at some point, but yeah. I don't remember. Which means I'm definitely giving this one away. Okay, Coach Carter. Here goes another one of these Hollywood Video previously viewed movies. I'm gonna give this one away too. I think this is one of those based on a true story movies of the the young kids that are young inner city kids, and he's the coach who comes in and kind of he's like a basketball coach, and he's very unorthodox in his methods or whatnot, and he's trying to teach the young kids, and I don't know, it's just another one of those movies that I don't know, it's like watched it once or twice, and yeah, I'm not gonna hold on to this. Can't you tell? Okay, this is Sin City, and this movie was like a big deal when it came out because of the technology, and the filmmaking was unprecedented at the time it came out. This is directed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller. This is an ensemble cast as well. There's a lot of actors in this movie, as you can see: Bruce Willis, Jessica Alba. Um, but there's also, um, gosh, we've got Clive Owen, who, like I said, I didn't even know who Clive Owen was until I went to the movies and saw this. I went to the movies, watched this, and I was like, who is that guy? I just loved his voice. I don't know what Clive Owen is doing now, um, what he's up to or whatever, and don't know. But in the early 2000s, man, I just thought he was so cute. And I love the sound of his voice. So he's in this movie. Benicio del Toro's in this movie. Carla Gugino. I love Carla Gugino. I think I love Carla Gugino. Don't know what she's up to these days either, but I just kind of thought she was like this cool, badass, like, um, beautiful actress, like, and a good actress. Brittany Murphy's in this movie, Mickey Rourke. Um, Gosh, who else? There's so many people in this movie. I'm not even naming everybody, but um, I'm gonna keep this movie, and the reason is because it really is. When this came out in the early 2000s, um, no one was doing anything quite like it. Um, oh yeah, let me see. Devin Aoki, Alexis Bledel, Elijah Wood, Nick Stahl, Michael Madsen, Michael Clark Duncan. Like, really, a true ensemble cast here. And yeah, this was, um, the way this was shot, and all of the camera work and the green screen, and um, it was just pretty groundbreaking at the time. Also, back in the early 2000s when I first came here, I told you I was trying to do the film school thing. And a friend of mine, she was a student at the UCLA Film School. And so she had invited me to one of her classes, to sit in on one of her classes, because the director of photography, was it either he was director of photography or he was head of, he was one of the guys who did the all of the lighting, and maybe that's who he was. He was the guy who was in charge of doing all the lighting and the green screen. He worked very closely with the director of photography. But anyway, he came to the class and he did a whole presentation on how they, shot the movie. And when I tell you, this man came in with all these binders and one of the movie cameras that they used to shoot. And in these binders, it was like meticulous detail of each and every scene, how they shot it, the lighting, just everything. And the detail was incredible. Like, it got so technical that I did everything in my power not to just flat out fall asleep. I've never worked so hard not to fall asleep in my life, because that would have been horrible. Can you imagine? You don't even go to the UCLA Film School. You were invited by one of the students to sit in. And this guy who worked on this movie, which used very groundbreaking techniques, comes in to lecture, and you doze off in front of like that. I just couldn't have that happen. So I have never worked so hard to keep my eyes open, and to listen to the guy. But one thing that I did get out of it was really the incredible work that goes into doing these movies, and it's technical all the way down. I mean, it's almost like they're inventing new technology as they're shooting a movie. So I just thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know if I didn't get enough sleep the night before. I don't know, but man, I was just fighting to stay awake. But that's my little story about Sin City. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. Still not done, so we'll be stay tuned for part 10 of this series. And again, if you like this content, give me a like. If not, give me a like. I may grow on you. So wherever you are in this crazy world, have a good day, good evening, stay safe, and I will see you later. Bye.